YouTube. 10 years old. 10 years of obscure pop culture comedy in the forms of YouTube poop.
Hey, you!
10 years of AMVs. 10 years of internet celebrities.
Banking, extremely quick to anger.
You mean monkey?
Banking,
No, that's definitely a monkey.
banking.
Whatever!
And 10 years of controversy.
The one is saying that you guys have ruined my life.
YouTube has had its good moments
I'm dressed too sexily and you don't like it? Stop oppressing me!
and its bad moments.
Fuck you all you 13, 14, and 15-year-old fucking little kids who are telling me I need to fucking lose weight!
Of course, extended periods of time are what we call sagas. So strap in and revisit some of the most notable sagas to have occurred in YouTube since its beginning. Hello friends and subscribers, and welcome to episode 10 of History of YouTube Sagas, the last episode of season 2. I'd also like to apologize for this being so late. But hey, on the plus side, this will have to satisfy your appetite for this series because once this episode is concluded, I will let you in on what happens next. But for right now, let us take a look at a tale of two internet celebrities. It was back in episode 3 I documented one of YouTube's arguably first notable feud, that being between Thunderfoot and FenFangX. Now personally, these feuds are pretty much the embodiment of these sagas because I feel as if a lot of people are unable to distinguish between this show, which covers sagas, and not the biographies of certain notorious users out there unless they made a significant impact on YouTube or the web as a whole. So I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't see the point of doing one on some of these other examples other people's brought up. But anyway, today we got another feud, and more recent than the one than Thunderfoot and FenFangX. Today's feud is the most convoluted saga I've ever done, and involves two primary individuals. The user Onision, whose real name is Gregory Jackson, and Mrrepzion, whose real name is Daniel Zulzbach. So who are Onision and Mrrepzion? The former is notorious in the anti-SJW crowd for being the king of cucks. Onision is known for making inept videos defending feminism and for making videos attacking women who don't fall in line with feminism and social justice dogma. He also dresses up in weird costumes, the most infamous costume of his being the banana one. Then there is the latter, Mrrepzion, who makes rant videos and strikes me like someone who has Asperger's or some form of autism, even though I can't find anything that says he does. He also apparently went through a phase of being an atheist, to a born-again Christian, followed by deism, and then back to atheism. So let's dig right into this saga and see how this shit came to surface. Both of these guys have sizable audiences, and so knowing about each other was bound to happen. Onision is the more well-known of the two, and it has roughly 2 million subscribers at the time I am writing this. Mrrepzion has just under 1 million subscribers, and at the time things went down between the two, I have no idea where they were at, but Mrrepzion has been a critic, so to say, of Onision for quite a while. The very first video Mrrepzion did on Onision is dated way back to a little over 5 years ago in June 2011. The video is a response to Onision in one of his most notorious videos concerning an incident with his wife or fiancé at the time, Shiloh. To get the full context, we'll need to watch the Onision video entitled Shiloh Forgot Me. The video is quite controversial because in it, Greg claims Shiloh entered a stage of 3-year amnesia after she had a seizure following a fight they had. But instead of seeking medical help, Greg chose to video his wife and then upload this traumatic and otherwise private matter publicly to YouTube, leading many to suspect this video was fake, or if it was true, Onision was acting profoundly unethically by filming the incident and putting it on YouTube.
You said you want to make a rainbow?
Yeah.
Why aren't you looking at the camera?
Make a rainbow.
Do you know what my name is? Shiloh?
I want to make a rainbow.
I love you.
I want to make a rainbow.
How do you feel?
Like cookies.
No, look at this. Look at this. Hey, calm down. You're in my house, okay?
Why?
No. It's okay. It's okay. Look, I'll show you. I'll show you. No, I'll show you. Look. I'll show you, okay? No. Oh, I'm not gonna touch you. Look.
Please don't hurt me.
Look, okay.
Please don't hurt me.
I'm going to YouTube. Watch. Okay, this is you.
Hey, he's alive.
That's good. No.
He was never dead.
Oh.
Here, I'm gonna turn it off and I'm gonna tell you what happened, okay? How's the vegan cheese?
Whether it was fake or not is besides the point, but Mr. Mrrepzion soon released a video response weighing in on it. In it, Daniel recounts that he can relate to the video and that it brought him to tears watching it. Even you can even see some instances you could see him suppressing the tears. However, Daniel still displays skepticism over whether or not it was true and criticizes Greg for filming the ordeal instead of calling for medical help.
So I just finished watching an extremely difficult video. And the reason I think it is difficult, at least for me to watch, was for the main reason is that I have had people in my past family, my aunt, who had a very similar experience. In this video, Onision films his wife, who has had memory problems before. However, she lost her memory, supposedly legitimately lost her memory, 3-year time frame. To me, when I started watching this video, tears actually started coming down my eyes, mainly because I can relate to the experience of seeing someone, his supposed wife, Shiloh, go through something like this. And when you have people in your family who you've had this happen to, it makes it all the more difficult to watch. And now, I don't know if this video is a hoax. I can't understand why he would make this a hoax, and if it is a hoax in any way, my middle finger goes up to Onision simply because, I don't know, you're just deceiving lots of people, and you even say in your description, this is not a joke, so if it turns out to be a hoax, well, you've lied to the majority of your YouTube audience. I was highly disturbed by this video, mainly because of the actions that Onision is taking place. Now, if this video is legitimate and truth, and his wife is actually losing her memory like she has, he ends the video by asking advice and help and stuff. And I can't fathom how... If this is a legitimate video and he is being truthful, how can he film and record his wife in this mental state and post it to YouTube? much less if this is truly his wife and he loves his wife. He is exploiting his wife. And what's worst of all is that he has, I got an ad, I even got an ad on his video. So he put his video on revenue or monetizing on YouTube. Honestly, don't exploit someone you love and care for who's having mental problems and memory loss on the internet and broadcast it to the world and then put ads on it. Gosh. If the video's a hoax, my middle finger goes up to you. Good job, you fooled me. It looked real, it felt real. It got my emotions stirred. And if the video is true, my middle finger still goes up to you. But take some responsibility and do the right thing. Get her some help, because that is what she needs. And most of all, show her that you actually love her by removing your video.
Onision later made a video on his channel, Onision Speaks, entitled, "I Respect Her Wishes," responding to the criticism after deleting the video. Greg does not directly respond to Daniel, but his critics in general, claiming going to a hospital would have been inefficient and that Shiloh did not want to be subject to medical testing.
Hey guys, I'm making this video in response to a lot of the people who are aggressive towards me in regards to my response to Shiloh losing her memory. They were aggressive towards me primarily because I didn't call an ambulance when she was going through what she went through. In fact, she's still going through it, but the reason I didn't call an ambulance is because I wouldn't want someone to call an ambulance on me if I lost my memory. I don't see what doctors are going to do to help Shiloh, because we know what triggers her memory loss, and that's severe stress. So if we avoid severe stress, I believe that she's going to gradually gain her memory back. And she actually has been getting some memories back. And she herself says that she doesn't want to go to a doctor. Like, she doesn't want tests run on her. She doesn't want to be a lab rat. And that means that I made the right decision in not calling an ambulance. And that I was right to assume that she's much like me and that she doesn't want to be in a hospital unless she absolutely has to be. So to all the people that were judging me to such massive extremes for not calling an ambulance, please just chill out, okay? I'm not going to force anyone to go to the hospital when they don't want to.
The only other development in this case came around about half a year later in early 2012, when Greg and Shiloh went through a rough separation. Greg later claimed that Shiloh was the one who faked everything in the video, and that during the whole ordeal he thought what was going on was legit. On the other hand, Shiloh maintains she was not faking it, and what she went through was legitimate. Greg also claimed that Shiloh was scamming him and made a video on February 17th, 2012, claiming he was trying to get Judge Judy to take his case.
Hey guys, I just got off the phone with some of the people at Judge Judy. I mentioned briefly before that I was going to contact Judge Judy about being conned out of almost $2,000 by my ex-girlfriend, and it turns out they're interested in my case. The only question is whether or not we can get that old Canadian down here to see some American justice. No, but I think that she's going to be interested in this case just because she thinks she's right. She's pretty set on believing whatever she wants to believe, and so maybe by the end of the month, we will have Judge Judy telling us who is right. Maybe it's me that is 100% honest, like I've been telling you guys all this time. Or maybe Judge Judy will side with the Canadian, who knows. The point is that I'm going to bring plenty of evidence, and I'm going to bring plenty of statements and so forth, supporting my case as usual, because I am a man of evidence and principle and stuff. I am actively suing Shiloh, or attempting to sue Shiloh, for almost $2,000 because that is what I was conned out of.
Once again, Mr. Mrrepzion makes a video response. In it, he claims Judge Judy would see both Greg and Shiloh for liars who didn't have much evidence for their claims, and then relates to his own experience dealing with an ex in court.
Guess who may be seeing Judge Judy? That's right, Greg, also known as Onision. Let's see what he has to say. First things first here, Judge Judy knows when somebody's lying. And my guess is that if you go to court, Shiloh's going to be lying, and you are going to be lying. You both are going to be lying, and being a long time of Judge Judy, and having been a long viewer of Judge Judy, she calls out liars on the spot on national television right then and there, both sides. Now if you're watching this video, Onision, I want to give you some real advice here. You say that you have evidence, and I want, as a genuine human being, I want to tell you that going to court, you may think you have evidence, but there is a very high chance that your evidence that you think is known as evidence will not be taken seriously. The reason I say that is because the only evidence that Judge Judy is going to accept is if you have a written or verbal or signed contract between you and your ex-girlfriend stating that while you were in a relationship with your ex-girlfriend that she agreed to pay you back the money you gave her. If there's no verbal agreement or of that conversation, or there's no signed contract, then she's not going to take your case seriously. Here's what I think about the situation. You want to go on Judge Judy because you want publicity, you want attention, and if you can do that by going on Judge Judy and getting accepted into Judge Judy, you'll do it. It's a publicity stunt. You're not doing it because you sincerely want $2,000. I know for a fact how many subscribers and how many viewers you get on your videos that you make far more than $2,000. In fact, $2,000 to you is probably nothing. In all seriousness, Onision, if you don't want her talking about you and seeing her talk about you, block her on Twitter and all those social networking sites. But more than that, ignore her. This actually kind of relates to a situation I was in because last month, January 7th, I was in court because my ex-girlfriend took me to court for anti-harassment over Twitter. That's it. I just wanted to share that with my viewers and subscribers, and by all means, Onision, if you are watching this, I hope Judge Judy, if you go to court, rules out both of you as being crazies, delusional, and that you guys are both wrong. That's all I gotta say. I'm Daniel Sulzbach, also known as Mr. Mrrepzion. Peace, rep out.
Despite this and Mr. Mrrepzion becoming one of Onision's most notable critics, Daniel did not receive Greg's attention until the opposite end of the year in late 2012. Shortly before Greg and Shiloh officially broke up, Onision was being frequently tweeted and contacted by another young female fan of his named Taylor. Eventually they met up, developed a relationship, and got married all within the span of about a year. Knowing that Greg's previous relationships with women ended rather mercilessly for the women, such as Shiloh and Greg's first wife, Sky, believing that being in a relationship with Greg as a woman is like being a woman and alone with Lavritni Beria, Daniel took to YouTube and made a video aimed at Taylor's parents, trying to warn them about Greg. The original video was shot down by YouTube, but has since been re-uploaded and mirrored by other people.
Hi, my name is Daniel Sulzbach, also known as Mr. Mrrepzion here on YouTube, and this is a video to a mother known as Christine. Christine, I sent you a Facebook message about an hour ago with a marriage certificate and some links and some screenshots of your daughter by the name of Taylor, who's been going by the name of Lainly, L-A-I-N-Y, on YouTube. Your daughter, Taylor, has been involved with a man by the name of Onision, also known as Greg, here on YouTube. Greg is a YouTuber, a very well-known on his main channel, has about 700,000 people who watch him, and then he has a side channel known as Onision Speaks. This man by the name of Greg, who has changed his name 4 times, has a very similar pattern of changing his last name, but more so, I'm making this video to you, Christine, because I want you to see who I am, but most of all, I want you to be aware of what your daughter has been doing behind your back. Now, normally I would not involve myself with talking about such an issue or even contacting parents of another girl who I have no idea anything about her besides her name, but what I do know is that your daughter has been involved with a man by the name of Greg, Onision, here on YouTube. And I'm making this video because I want to bring concern and awareness to the problem to you as a parent. Greg's first wife was by the name of Sky. He convinced his wife, Sky, to quit her job, move in with him, and help him with his YouTube career. Now, when the marriage didn't work out, he then said that he refused to pay her, in which she then took him to court and won alimony against him, and he now pays her several hundred, he now pays Sky several $100s, or I should say $1,000 a month, because he makes quite a lot on YouTube. Furthermore, Onision also married Sky, but what the sad thing is that he actually convinced Sky to not tell the parents that their daughter was getting married. His second relationship, known as Shiloh, it's been explained that he also had sex with her when she was underage and he was way in his 20s, but that's besides the point. Rather, his fiancée, as he was engaged to Shiloh, he also emotionally and psychologically abused her in many different formats, one of which I'll be showing you here in a second. But one of his most predominant things that he did, and most well known, which is now no longer on YouTube because he removed the video, but he recorded his fiancée, Shiloh, having a seizure and a memory loss. I don't really want to get into too much detail, but Onision was in fact abusing his almost soon-to-be wife, known as Shiloh, seen in this clip.
I haven't done anything to you.
Yes, you have. You destroyed everything. I'm forced to go back there. She's gonna kick me out and I have nothing. Just know that when they say on the news that I was found, brutally murdered, that it was because of you.
We broke up.
Look at me.
We broke up.
Look at me. I don't give a shit whether we broke up or not. I do not give a shit. What you have done to me is irreversible. You've destroyed any way for me to support myself. I have nothing. You have destroyed me.
Can you take a step back?
No.
I'm backed into a corner.
What would you like us to do, sir? You called.
I called my sister and she told me to just leave, to just move away.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Onision brought this woman nearly to suicide based upon the control and the manipulation that he has on these young women. This man is dangerous, and I don't want to see your daughter hurt or taken advantage of. So I urge you, Christine, please take in consideration what I am saying and protect your daughter and contact your daughter, because she's trying to go behind your back on this. And I think it should be every parent's responsibility to make sure that their child is safe, especially from a man known as Onision. Greg. Thank you for watching. Have any information, any questions, please don't hesitate to message me back on Facebook. Thank you.
Greg later found out about this video, but how he found out was really what got his attention. Daniel wrote to Taylor's parents on Facebook, again warning them about Onision. Several months later, in April 2013, another user named Don't Stand Alone Close to Me wrote a personal handwritten letter to Taylor's parents telling them to get her away from Greg. At that time, Mr. Mrrepzion also made a video accusing Greg of being a rape enabler because of his use of rape jokes and other off-color things he said in his videos.
What you're about to watch is, in fact, a rape enablist. You said in an earlier video, which I'm going to show in a few minutes here, that a woman who had sex with 20 guys you wanted to have sex with, and she accused you of pressuring her to have sex. You then said in a later video, which I'm going to showcase in a few minutes, that a girl who's drunk, if she's drunk, it's not as bad of rape if she's drunk. And that if you're married, well, you should be able to touch your spouse whenever you please and whenever you want. But let's just see what else you have to say.
And of course, she goes to insinuate that when we did make love, that I was forcing her into it, that I was pressuring her into it, and she didn't really want to. That's funny coming from someone who slept with over 20 people. That's really funny.
Hey guys, some lady posted to onision.net/contact complaining about her husband touching her in her sleep. And my concern with this is, aren't you married? Like, aren't you supposed to be sexual with each other? Like, it's not like some stranger is touching you in your sleep. It's not like someone who isn't supposed to be touching you in your sleep is touching you in your sleep.
This video is educational for the people watching me, but most of all to your subscription base if they happen to cross this video. That's why I'm making it, so that your subscribers can be educated on someone who actually understands and remotely tries to cover real subjects in videos and not present a rape apologist or rape enablist attitude.
When rape is no longer seen as something that's easy, but rather highly punishable. When these statistics start to turn around and more people are put in jail for raping individuals. When more victims of rape stand up for themselves and say, hey, this person did it because they're a brave soul who doesn't want anyone else to suffer what they did. When we as a society almost unanimously say no and show no tolerance for this kind of behavior, this world and these girls will be far better off. Once again, your rapist could be your boyfriend. It is possible that it could be a total stranger, but the bottom line is no matter your rapist, they are a coward. And I hope you show how brave you are by standing up and bringing this person to justice.
Ironically enough, Greg, that's why I'm making this video, to bring you to justice.
Greg finally spoke out on April 28th, 2013 in an Onision Speaks video entitled Dear Stalker. In it, Greg does not name Mr. Mrrepzion, as he does not want him promoted, but is obviously talking about him. Greg accuses Daniel of being a stalker for contacting his in-laws and for frequently making video responses about him. Greg also falsely accuses Daniel of being the one who sent the handwritten letter to his in-laws.
Hey guys, if you didn't know, I've actually had this little stalker on YouTube for a while, and he's a pretty creepy dude. He's made a lot of videos about me, and it's kind of disgusting. Anyway, so something this creepy dude did was wrote my in-laws about what a terrible person he believes me to be. And you know what my in-laws did? Well, they told my wife what happened and conveyed the message that it creeped them out. Some total stranger contacts my in-laws acting as if he knows more about me than they do, even though he's never met me, meanwhile they have. I think a pretty significant problem that people have online is not only demonizing each other and jumping to black and white scenarios rather than looking at the gray areas, but also a huge problem exists where people consistently remove themselves from reality. I can say something like drinking is irresponsible and you're setting yourself up for a lot of risks when you do that, and someone can twist those words into saying that I support rape. I don't think a rape apologist is what a lot of people think it is. Rape apologism is when someone says rape isn't really rape or that rape is not really that bad. So in what way have I said rape isn't really that bad? Anyway, so that's all I had to say. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And to that creepy mofo who won't get the hell out of my life, well, I can at least thank him for the free advertisements. Boob squeeze.
Shortly after Onision made his video, Daniel directly contacted Greg denying it was him who sent the letter and gave proof it was Don't Stand Alone Close to Me who sent it. In order to ensure that Greg would respond, Daniel was able to legally obtain Greg and Taylor's marriage license and threatened to send it to Encyclopedia Dramatica, the website every internet celebrity fears. Greg likewise made a video responding to this development. The video is called Please Stop This.
Hey guys, this video is kind of an intervention and a kind of request for the individual who's been harassing my wife's in-laws, and myself for some time now to stop. Now the reason I'm making a big deal about this now is because this individual actually wrote, according to my in-laws directly via snail mail. They told my wife that this individual wrote them a disturbing letter on Facebook and then proceeded to write them snail mail via their home address. I made a video saying, hey, creepy stalker, stop writing my family members. So this individual, not liking that I responded to them publicly finally on some medium, he wrote me an email threatening to release legal documents with both my name and my wife's full name on them. And not just to his YouTube viewers, because he's already done that. He's gonna post it to a hate site. Because you know this guy is such a saint and he's just trying to help my wife get away from the evil demon that is me, right? I can't think of a single person who could be a bigger hypocrite right now with their current actions. You're gonna prove to everybody that I was wrong about you being a stalker creep by doing something a stalker creep would do. This is what he wrote to my email. I'll make this short. I wrote no snail mail letter to Taylor's parents, nor would I ever go that far. Yeah, writing a snail mail letter to my in-laws is way too far, but releasing our legal documents with our full name to a hate site? Anyway, this is my response. You're awful. Her parents reported you wrote them. You're releasing those documents / harassing us / spreading false accusations. It's grounds to take you to court. You are such a creep. Why won't you leave us alone? Leave us alone. I want nothing to do with this guy. I don't want to see his face again. I don't want to hear his name again. I want nothing to do with him. Like literally, I didn't even know who he was until he started making hate videos about me. Me, my wife, my family, we're all trying to be happy and we just want this person to leave us alone. So again, to that person who threatened to release those documents, apparently it's already gonna happen. God, I have nothing to say to you. I have nothing to say to you at all other than leave us alone. You are a freaky, creepy super stalker from hell. I just don't want to do this. Okay, bye.
On the very same day of May 6, 2013, Mr. Mrrepzion uploaded a video called Onision versus Evidence, where Daniel responds to Greg's accusation in the Dear Stalker and Please Stop This video, most notably showing the message he got from Don't Stand Alone Close to Me, straight up saying that it was him who sent the handwritten letter.
So for the sake of this video, I recommend you turn your listening ears on, because there's going to be quite a lot of information. I'm not going to leave anything out. Stress that point. But anyways, so for those of you who haven't been keeping up on Onision, about 3 weeks ago, two or 3 weeks ago, no, less than that actually, he made a video titled Dear Stalker. Now in this video, he heavily implies in the video that I am the stalker and that I wrote a handwritten, several-page letter, handwritten to his in-laws of his wife, Lanely. So last night before I went to bed, I sent him an email, right? I sent him an email clarifying. I said, my first email to you, I titled it, and I'm going to show it to you. I said, paraphrasing, you'll see it in a few minutes, I did not write the letter, which I didn't. And because you made a false accusation against me, I am going to post an already legal document, and it's public by King County Records, which is the state in which the county he lives and I live. We both live in King County. And the document's already public online already. I'm going to give the marriage license that shows that you actually are married, which is, again, already public information all over the place. It's not private information. I'm going to give it to Encyclopedia Dramatica because they've been looking for more information on you specifically, and I'm going to give it to them. And that's all I said. And he responds by saying that it was me who wrote the letter, and that the reason he knows that I wrote the letter is because his in-laws told him that I wrote the letter. And again, I want to stress the point, this is a false parallel. Now, I did make a video 5 months ago to the parents. I did send them a Facebook message, but because your parents saw, the in-laws saw my video and saw my Facebook message, they must have automatically assumed that the handwritten letter was by me, when it was not by me. In fact, I love how in the next few clips you're about to see, you only present half of the email that I sent you. Only half of it. You completely ignored and didn't even include my response to you. So not only are you one-siding everything that I said in response to you, and I even told you in the email who the person was who sent it, and you still ignored it and took the effort to make a video about it, only presenting the one side of the response. So my point is, let's see what the person who actually wrote the letter has to say. He replies, yes, I sent it because the actual email didn't go through. Then he goes on to say about parents and how if he was a parent, he would want to know what his daughter was doing with a crazy psychopath. But near the end, he says, and finally, to Mr. Mrrepzion, if you want to clear this up with your subs and viewers, go ahead and make a video telling them who I am who sent the letter, or directing them to this video below, as I am proud of what I have done and I will do it again. And down below, in my description, and here, as you can see, to the parents of Lanely Bot, Onision's new victim, he has a link here, and that link shows you evidence that he actually did write the snail mail letter. I don't really have much else to say besides that, Onision, you're wrong, and if you want to take me to court for some reason that you also threatened me in your email that you can take me to court, by all means, do it. I'd happily stand in court, I'd happily testify, I'd happily swear nothing but the truth, I'd happily swear my vows. Most of all, I'd love to see you fail in court because that's exactly what you would do because you know nothing about how the law works. I'm done. Thank you guys for watching.
Once again, on the same day, Greg made another video responding, and I use that term loosely, to the Mr. Mrrepzion video, Onision versus Evidence. But it's not really worth discussing. Greg does not really bring up any new points. It's just 4 minutes of, oh, he's a stalker, he's creepy, he needs to stop. Moving on, the feud was now in full swing, but it still did not quite reach its apex until late June and early July of 2013. In the interim, Mr. Mrrepzion frequently challenged Onision to debate him. Greg for the longest time initially refused. Eventually Greg accepted Daniel's challenge to debate him, but here's where things start to turn to Greg's favor. After accepting the initial challenge, Daniel seemingly did a 180 and went so far as to deny ever wanting to debate Greg. However, Daniel left kind of a visible paper trail on this one in the forms of YouTube comments he tried to delete, as well as a petition he shared on Facebook. When confronted with this evidence, Daniel tried to claim that this was the doing of other people, but to no avail. All this happening behind the scenes, so to say. The only videos on this topic are Mr. Mrrepzion's videos, the final fall of Onision, and then Greg's follow-up video. One user compiled the two together, so we're going to watch it in its entirety uninterrupted.
What happens when you tell a 27-year-old man no? He reacts like a child.
And he says, what do you do when someone says no? They react like a child, in his opinion. During my live debates, there were multiple witnesses seeing you challenge me to a debate. Here's a screenshot of you challenging me during the debates. Here's the email where you said you never challenged me. Here's you supporting a petition to debate me. This is black and white evidence that you lied.
Take a look at this. This is a photo of the supposed comment I wrote on his channel, which, by the way, I'm blocked on all of his channels. But his Onision Encore, I was not blocked. I wrote a comment, and I'm paraphrasing, but I said something to the liking of, I want to see a debate between you and some guy. Within a minute and a half, my comment was deleted. I wish I had taken a screenshot of my comment so I could prove it, but I can't. It was deleted, and then I was blocked from his channel. Only for him to then put this photo up with no thumbs up, because I don't know if you know this, but usually when I make a comment about Onision, it always gets thumbs up. There's no timestamp on the video. And there are no timestamps on any of there's no comments. You know, normally when you take a screenshot of all the comments around it so you can show that it's its actual valid picture.
Boom. There you go. I suppose Rep didn't see that screenshot, did he? How unfortunate for him. He then again states that I deleted his comment. Why would I delete such a juicy comment like this, Rep? It doesn't make sense. And you know why it doesn't make sense? Because you're lying. The truth almost always makes sense. And that's why you don't want to be a liar, because eventually it will catch up with you. And also, the screenshots aren't lying. The witnesses aren't lying. You were supporting people in these debates. You were challenging me to debates while the debates were going on, and they've only been going on for the last week or so. So again, Rep, you're blatantly lying.
Him and some guy 827 debated, and this is what he had to say in the debate.
You made an accusation that I made a joke about rape. So what was that?
Well, a lot of your video titles, they have really, really screwed up titles in them, and it's like you're just taking it.
Give me one of the rape. An example.
I was butt raped! A group of men hit me on my head until I passed out and then they raped me!
That video is titled Puppy Love.
Because I'm so unattractive and I'm so stupid and I have no friends, there was that guy who violated me in an alleyway and I cried. I guess he could be a friend. What was I talking about?
What's that again? You haven't made fun of rape victims? What did I just watch?
I haven't made a main channel video making fun of rape. What I was specifically referencing is I never made a video with rape in the title saying rape is funny or haha rape or anything like that. Now if SG asked me, have you ever made rape jokes? I would say yes. That's the real difference. You then point out that the video you used as an example was titled Puppy Love, meaning it was not a video about rape. Just as I said, I had never made a video on my main channel about rape. You of course decide to ignore this fact and pretend as if what I said was a blatant lie. I was put on the spot on a live debates, and I indicated to the best of my knowledge I had never made a comedy video about rape. I still stand by that, as that is true to the very best of my knowledge. You then move on to point out my character Sharon Barron, and I move to the same live debate that you ignored, where I said I have made rape jokes. I clarify, again, hopefully you'll get this information, I have made rape jokes.
And this is where it gets the best, ladies and gentlemen. I said no, I will decline debating you. And rather than respecting my decision, he calls me a coward, which is perfectly fine. But on July 4th, he debated Mrrepzion. Mrrepzion is his hand with a sock imitating me.
I just want to say to all my reptiles, we're dinosaurs! Reptiles! Da 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 da.
Okay, you guys.
We're dinosaurs! Reptiles!
If you didn't laugh at that, I think there might be something a little weird with you.
Da 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 da.
And then the Jurassic Park theme, come on. Literally, I got multiple people writing me saying that they were laughing hysterically at that show. People voted for that show to happen. I made it happen because I care about what a lot of people want.
But the reason I'm done making videos about you, Greg, is because I actually thought that through my video responses to you that I could perhaps make you think differently. I thought perhaps that me responding to your video where you said that when a woman is drunk, it's not as bad as if she's drunk, it's not as bad if she's raped when she's drunk. I thought I could maybe change your mind when you generalize all people who are overweight, who are being obese or are not fat because they choose to be fat, but maybe they have medical problems. I thought I could change a man's mind. I thought I could actually dent. I thought I could maybe make you think differently. I thought I could maybe reason with you or rationalize with you.
Guess what? You made a dent in my life. Congratulations. You tried to rip apart my family. Congratulations. You posted innocent people's full names to hate sites. Congratulations. You challenged me to a debate multiple times only to delete most of the evidence of it. Congratulations. And then I made a live show making fun of the fact that you refused to rise to the challenge, and in response you called me insane. There's your dent. Congratulations. You then say that you hoped I would one day say I was wrong on an issue. I know you watched the debates. You were spamming them with your comments. Multiple witnesses say you were spamming the debates with your comments. They didn't have timestamps on them because it was a live hangout. But the fact of the matter is that's proof alone that you were in the debate spamming. And to respond to what you actually just said, I admitted multiple times in most every single debate that I've been wrong. However, I'm still waiting for you to say that you were wrong for contacting my in-laws. I'm still waiting for you to apologize for going after my wife, going after my family, posting innocent people's names to hate sites. I'm still waiting on that, so whenever you want to do that. And also maybe apologize for lying to all your subscribers about not challenging me to a debate. Maybe apologize for them for not giving them what they wanted when they repeatedly said you should debate Onision. Apologize for having so many people backing you up.
He is a narcissistic psychopath who knows how to manipulate and control things so well.
Me, a narcissistic psychopath. Let's look those definitions up, shall we? A narcissist is someone who has an inflated idea of their own importance. If you care about the truth, I encourage you all to watch my Draw My Life and find out what a narcissist I truly am. Or to save you time, I'll summarize. In that video, I broke into tears after saying I am nothing without my audience. I revealed that I had such a lack in self-importance that I almost killed myself, and that one of the only things keeping me going was my audience. If that's what a narcissist does, then I guess I'm a narcissist. Now, he also called me psychopath, so let's look that up. A person suffering from chronic mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior. I'm gonna be honest as usual. I did once suffer from a chronic mental disorder. When I was in the Air Force, I was diagnosed with chronic depression. This is shortly after I put a loaded 9mm to my own head and said, if you don't make something of your life is essentially over. And so on that day, I decided to take YouTube a lot more seriously. I decided to reach out and try to help people. And despite what a lot of people who don't like me will say, I've helped quite a few. Over the last 6 or so years, I've gotten hundreds, if not thousands of emails saying thank you for saving my life.
I'm done. You can't change. You will never change. Your mind is set in a 14-year-old boy male's body. I feel sorry for you, and I realize that Greg Onision plays the victim card, but I genuinely, sincerely feel sorry that a 27-year-old man can neglect his wife, who's 13 weeks pregnant, on the fact and debate a sock on July 4th because I said no. I said no.
He says I'm basically a 14-year-old stuck in a 27-year-old body. Well, you know what? Many feel I'm immature, many feel I'm not funny, but at least I can own up to my mistakes. At least I can say I'm sorry when it's due, and at least I won't remain in denial as to what the truth really is. The truth is, Rep, you challenged me to a debate. You made over 13 videos about me, negative videos. You went after my family. You brought innocent people into this by exposing their full names, by including them directly in this drama. You haven't owned up to that, and I don't understand why other than to assume that you just can't accept it because it makes you feel bad. You are defeated by the truth. You feel weak when you admit you are wrong, and so you hide behind lies, not realizing that lies are even weaker than the truth, and that when you finally accept the truth, when the truth is on your side, nothing can defeat you, and that's exactly why you're losing right now, because you simply are not on it.
And to be honest, Gregory, saying no to you brought me more satisfaction than it ever would have been debating you, because I got to see breaking a man emotionally by doing nothing. And that is an accomplishment.
He says saying no to me brought him more satisfaction than debating me ever would. That's strange because you were saying yes, 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 yes before. And you know what? It really wasn't you saying no that really bothered me as much as it was you lying about having said yes prior. Maybe in time you'll learn this, but you really can't run from the truth on the internet. He closes it with, I'm not going to make any more videos with Onision again, so let's hold him to that. I didn't know this guy before he started making negative videos about me, but he definitely knows who I am, and he definitely knows that he asked for me to respond. So here I am.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow reptiles, I'm not going to make any more videos about Onision for a very long time, if not ever again. Thank you guys for watching.
And that's everything. I do apologize for making such a lengthy video, but I feel like this has gone on for far too long, and I think a lot of you agree. Now you guys have all the information sitting right in front of you. You can be the decider.
So, what do you think? Well, regardless of what you think, after this whole debacle, the two celebrities backed off from each other for the most part. Onision responded one last time to Mrrepzion a few months later in September 2013. Mrrepzion did keep his word, and it would be a while before making another video on Onision, something he still does to this very day. Onision repeatedly finds himself at the centers of new controversies, with the most recent one coming to light just 2 months ago in December 2016, where he hosted a forum for underage girls as young as preteens to post pictures of themselves in their underwear for him and others to judge upon, or something like that. And with that, we conclude yet another curious saga, and a highly requested one too. I also find that this one contrasts a lot with the others, particularly in the build-up and the end. I've covered sagas where there was little pre-saga build-up and lots of things to end on, but this was the opposite. It had a lot of pre-saga build-up and then was somewhat tiny and anticlimactic in how it ended, when it went from point A to point Z rather quickly. But yeah, that's it. The final episode of the final regular season. But as for the future of this series, as of right now, this is the final regular season of this show. I will probably make more of them, but they will be made and uploaded far less frequently than they are right now. I plan on taking an indefinite hiatus from this series, and will not make another one for the rest of 2017. I know, many of you will be dismayed by that. But now, I will be given free rein to work on other projects, like another upcoming series whose trailer will be released very soon. And apart from the other series, I plan on doing miscellaneous stuff. Who knows, maybe more gaming videos and Red Rising. I've been meaning to do that for a while, but never got the chance. Because they've been coming out with some new shit, and instead of playing the games, maybe I could just review them. Well, I'd have to make sure there's an audience for that, and I don't end up following the example of a previous subject. Sports? Nah. I'm not a sports person, even though I played ice hockey when I was a kid. I could even review movies. Well, maybe not. Everyone does that. And if I were to start to review films, then hell would freeze over. What else? Food. Definitely not food. It would be a bit hard for me to review food without feeling myself eating it. What about anime? Nah. People would start requesting weeb shit I have no patience for. Forget reviewing. I will think of something. But hey, more quintessential retrospects, if they fit the occasion, will be on the way. I was set to do one on Obama's presidency shortly before he left, but of course that came and went, and I was working on other stuff. I mentioned in my last top 10 that other top 10s would be made, but I am second guessing that after my last one got pitifully low views. Whatever. I am rambling at this point. But I would like to thank you all for watching the first 2 seasons of History of YouTube Sagas. I am the Black Lord of Fenrir, and much content awaits you all in 2017. So long.
the fuck are you?
Your worst fucking nightmare. We know each other real well. I know where you buried that girl in Guatemala.